It always starts the same way. You meet someone, a friend, a lover, maybe even a mentor. And for a while, everything feels right. You feel seen, understood, safe. But then, something shifts. They say something small, something you can't quite explain, and suddenly, you withdraw. You start to feel uneasy around them. Maybe they're too demanding. Maybe they don't understand you anymore. So, you pull back. You tell yourself, I just need space. But deep down, you know it's more than that. You've felt this pattern before. You push people away, and then wonder why you're always alone. And here's the truth that few dare to confront. You're not pushing them away. You're pushing yourself away. Carl Jung, one of the greatest explorers of the human mind, once said, "Everything that irritates us about others can lead us to an understanding of ourselves." And that's where this story begins, in the shadows of the self. 1. The mirror you don't want to look into. We all have a side of ourselves we hide, the part we don't want others to see. Our envy, our anger, our selfishness, our insecurity. Jung called this hidden part the shadow. It's everything you've rejected in yourself, the things you've labeled unacceptable, unworthy, or unlovable. And instead of facing it, you bury it. You pretend it isn't there. But here's the problem. The shadow doesn't disappear just because you ignore it. It waits. And then it projects. When you meet someone who reflects your buried traits, your impatience, your pride, your fear, you feel something uncomfortable rise within you. You don't see yourself in them. You see the enemy. 2. Projection, the mind's evasion tactic. Projection is one of the most powerful psychological defenses and the most destructive. It's when your unconscious mind takes something you dislike or fear about yourself and attributes it to someone else. You say, "They're so selfish," when deep down, you're the one withholding affection. You say, "They think they're better than me," when in truth, you're struggling with your own sense of inadequacy. You say, "They're too emotional," when you're the one who's afraid to feel. We all do this, not because we're bad people, but because our minds are trying to protect us. It's easier to project than to reflect. It's easier to blame than to feel. But every time you project your pain onto someone else, you distance yourself from your own healing. 3. The cycle of pushing people away. Think about it. Every time you push someone away, it's not really about them. It's about what they trigger inside you. You meet someone who's confident, and instead of being inspired, you feel threatened. Why? Because they remind you of your own unexpressed potential. You meet someone who's needy, and instead of showing compassion, you feel suffocated. Why? Because they mirror your own suppressed need for love. You meet someone who's distant, and instead of understanding, you get angry. Why? Because they awaken your fear of abandonment. The people who challenge us the most are often the ones holding up a mirror to our hidden selves. But because it's painful to look, we turn away. We call them toxic. We label them as wrong or dramatic. And in doing so, we never realize we've just walked away from our greatest teacher. 4. Jung's warning. Carl Jung warned that the greatest danger to human relationships is projection. He said, "The psychological rule says that when an inner situation is not made conscious, it happens outside, as fate." In other words, If you don't face what's inside you, life will find a way to make you face it through other people. That's why you keep meeting the same types of people. Different faces, same story. It's not a coincidence, it's a pattern. Because life repeats lessons until you learn them. And each person you push away is another opportunity missed, another chance to meet yourself. 5. The emotional weight of unseen shadows. The tragedy of projection is that it isolates you from love. You start to mistrust others. You assume betrayal. You build walls so tall that no one can climb them, not even the ones who truly care. And then you sit alone, wondering why people always leave. But the truth is, you've left first. You left emotionally, long before they walked away physically. You were never rejected by them. You rejected the reflection of yourself that you saw in them. And until you make peace with that reflection, every relationship will end the same way. 6. How to break the cycle. So how do you stop this pattern? How do you stop pushing people away before they can hurt you, or worse, before you hurt them? It begins with radical honesty. Step 1. Notice your triggers. When someone bothers you, pause. Don't react immediately. Ask yourself, what exactly am I feeling right now? Is it anger, jealousy, fear? Then ask, when have I felt this before? You'll often trace it back to an older wound, something long before this person ever existed. Step 2. Own your projections. When you catch yourself blaming or judging someone harshly, pause again. Ask, could this be something I'm refusing to see in myself? You'll be surprised how often the answer is yes. Step 3. Bring your shadow into light. You can't heal what you hide. Write about it. Talk about it. Meditate on it. Because awareness alone begins to dissolve projection. Step 4. Forgive yourself. You've built these defenses for a reason. They once kept you safe, but now they keep you stuck. Forgive the younger version of you that believed distance was safety. You don't need to keep running anymore. 7. Integration. Becoming whole again. Jung believed that healing isn't about becoming perfect, it's about becoming whole. Wholeness means embracing your contradictions, your light and your dark, your flaws and your strengths. It means realizing that the people who hurt you may have also helped you see what still hurts within. Integration happens when you stop dividing yourself into good and bad. When you accept that every emotion, every reaction, every fear is simply a message from your unconscious asking to be heard. The moment you stop running from yourself, you stop pushing others away. Because now you no longer need them to carry your pain. You've learned to carry it yourself. 8. The power of conscious connection. When you become aware of your projections, relationships transform. You stop needing others to complete you because you've met the missing parts within. You stop fearing conflict because you see it as communication, not catastrophe. You stop chasing or avoiding love because you understand it starts with self-acceptance. And suddenly, you attract different people, healthier ones, calmer ones, because the energy you project has changed. The truth is, you don't attract what you want. You attract what you are. And when you integrate your shadow, you stop attracting lessons and start attracting alignment. 9. The closing truth. The real reason you push people away is because they remind you of the parts of yourself you've abandoned. The anger you suppress, the love you deny, the need you're ashamed of, the weakness you never accepted. But you don't have to keep living like this. The next time you feel that urge to withdraw, stop. Take a breath and ask yourself, what am I really running from? You might realize you were never running from them. You were running from your reflection. And the moment you turn around, the moment you face it, you'll find something incredible waiting for you. Not fear, not shame, but freedom. Because when you stop pushing others away, you stop pushing life away.